Chapter 10. Summoning his 12 disciples, Jesus gave them authority over unclean spirits to drive them out and to heal every disease and sickness. These are the names of the 12 apostles. First, Simon, who was called Peter, and Andrew his brother, James the son of Zebedee and John his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James the son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed Christ. Jesus sent out these 12 after giving them instructions. Don't take the road leading to other nations, and don't enter any Samaritan town. Instead, go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As you go, announce this. This should be your message. Verse 7. The kingdom of heaven has come near. And when they announce this, they should do verse 8. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have skin diseases, drive out demons. You have received free of charge, give free of charge. Christ is saying, I've given you the power. God has given you the power to be able to do this, and you haven't done anything to be able to receive that. So now go give to anybody and everyone who needs it free of charge. Don't take along gold, silver, or copper for your money belts. Don't take any traveling bag for the road, or an extra shirt. Don't take any extra sandals or a walking stick, for the worker is worthy of his food, Christ says. It's the same kind of idea of like we don't muzzle an ox while it treads the grain. The disciples are worthy of their wages as they go out. They don't need to take anything extra with them. Verse 11, when you enter in any town or village, find out who is worthy and stay there until you leave. Greet a household when you enter it, and if the household is worthy, let your peace be in it. But if it is unworthy, let your peace return to you. If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, shake the dust off your feet when you leave that house or town. I assure you, it will be more tolerable on the day of judgment for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah than for that town. Now we've got to be able to see the direct commission to the disciples while Christ is still alive. He is sending them out into the world, specifically, I say the world, he's sending them to Israel, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So they're not allowed to go to the world. They're not allowed to even go to Samaria, which is a portion of within the land of Israel. They're not allowed to go there. They only go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And they're able to heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those that have skin diseases, and drive out demons. Now this is like miracles on miracles, right? Every little miracle is being done, so much so that 12 men who are the disciples of Christ are able to raise the dead before Christ is even raised from the dead, right? They're doing these miracles before Christ has gone to the cross of Calvary, before he has been in the tomb for 3 days, and before God raises him from the dead. He already has that authority to give to his disciples while he's on the earth. And he's saying, find out who's worthy and go into those houses. Now there's a custom within the Jewish culture of like there being a well in the center of a town or on the outskirts of a town, or just a local gathering spot where if a traveler needed to find a place to rest, they would be able to go to the well, and there would be people who would see them and then offer a place for that person to reside for the night or for however short period of time that they needed. And these are the people that Christ would have said are the worthy ones in the town that the disciples should have gone into. Now, once they're welcomed into the house, they still need to find out if those people are worthy by the actions of the house. The peace is able to remain as long as the house is found worthy. But if the house is found unworthy while the disciples are in it, they are to leave that house, shake the dust off their feet, and potentially leave the town if nobody is found worthy. Christ says it'll be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah than for the town that rejects the disciples. This is really, really strong wordage that it's more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment than for those towns, because we know Sodom and Gomorrah were completely wiped out because of their actions, because of their depravity and the way that they wanted to act towards the angel of God that went to rescue Lot. But verse 16, "Look, I am sending you out like sheep among wolves. Therefore be as shrewd as serpents and as harmless as doves, because people will hand you over to Sanhedrins and flog you in their synagogues. Beware of them. You will even be brought before governors and kings because of me, to bear witness to them and to the nations. And when they hand you over, do not worry about what you should speak, for you will be given what to say at that hour, because you are not speaking, but the Spirit of your Father is speaking through you. Brother will betray brother to death, and father his child. Children will even rise up against their parents and have them put to death. You will be hated by everyone because of my name, but the one who endures to the end will be delivered. When they persecute you in one town, escape to another, for I assure you, you will not have covered the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes. A disciple is not above his teacher, or a slave above his master. It is enough for a disciple to become like his teacher, and a slave like his master. If they called the head of the house Beelzebul, how much more the members of the household?" Now Christ is again finishing that commission of sending his disciples out, and he's saying, be careful, because I recognize, you need to recognize the kind of world that you're being sent into. The people out there are wolves, and you're supposed to be like sheep. Now, you are supposed to have shrewdness, which is like understanding and knowledge. You should be shrewd like the serpent, but you should be also harmless like the dove. Now, this dichotomy is so difficult for us to be able to wrap our minds around, especially in a Western Christian world, but we really need to be able to grasp, like, shrewd is being able to understand worldly ways, but harmless is not actually participating them in such a way that we become worldly, right? Because people will hand you over to Sanhedrins and flog you in synagogues. Beware of them, right? You're going to witness persecution. You're going to receive persecution, and you're going to receive physical pain because of the persecution that comes from being a disciple of Christ. He says, even so, we must be aware that fathers are going to bring their children to death because of Christ, and brothers are going to betray brothers because of Christ, and children are going to dishonor and rise up and put to death their parents because of Christ, because the parents know Christ, right? And the children want to rebel against that. But the one who endures will be delivered. And that needs to be our hope. That needs to be the thing that we cling to the most, is that we will be delivered if we endure to the end. Verse 26, "Therefore don't be afraid of them, since there is nothing covered that won't be uncovered, and nothing hidden that won't be made known. What I tell you in the dark, speak in the light. What you hear in a whisper, proclaim on the housetops. Don't fear those who kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. Rather, fear him, or fear God, who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Aren't 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them falls to the ground without your Father's consent. But even the hairs of your head have all been counted. So don't be afraid, therefore. You are worth more than many sparrows. Therefore, everyone who will acknowledge me before men, I will also acknowledge him before my Father in heaven. But whoever denies me before men, I will also deny him before my Father in heaven. Don't assume that I came to bring peace on the earth, Christ says. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I came to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's enemies will be the members of his household. The person who loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, Christ says. The person who loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me, Christ says. And whoever does not take up his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Anyone finding his life will lose it, and anyone losing his life because of me will find it. The one who welcomes you welcomes me, Christ says. And the one who welcomes me welcomes him who sent me, who is the Father. Anyone who welcomes a prophet because he is a prophet will receive a prophet's reward. And anyone who welcomes a righteous person because he is righteous will receive a righteous person's reward. And whoever gives a cup of water to one of these little ones because he is a disciple, I assure you, he will never lose his reward. Now, there's a lot of promises and a lot of expectations that come in these last verses of chapter 10. And a lot of it comes down to recognizing our position, recognizing the boldness in which we should live in, and recognizing the love that the Father has for us as we step out into that boldness. Right? We're expected to do a lot. That a lot is going to be painful. It's going to be a burden, but that a lot that is a burden, we'll find out it is going to be lighter than the torment of hell.